It's your man, Big Jones, the Juggernaut, and welcome back to Unleashed. I was just trying out the KUSI San Diego news broadcast intro there. I don't like it. I'm going to stick with my own thing. Boom! Big Jones, the Juggernaut. What's going on, everybody? So, oh, shit. Maybe the other intro was better. Anyway, so tonight is Sunday night. I don't always upload these things the night I shoot them, but tonight is Sunday night, so it's the last night of my 3-night run here at the hospital on the night shift. And, right about now, I start getting pretty delirious, It's close to midnight right now, and this is around the time where all the weird, free-floating ideas, start to pop up in my head. So, usually those are the ideas that turn into podcasts, and some of them don't, and they just turn into me tapping my wife on the shoulder at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I ask her about rainbows. So this is one of the ones that I'm going to share with you guys because it actually is kind of relevant. So let's just jump right into it. I want to talk about, in so many words, I want to talk about the other 4-letter F word that just about everybody has and stands in just about everybody's way at some point. And obviously this month we're doing a lot with fitness and bodybuilding. So I want to talk about fear. Everybody has fears. Everybody has fears. Everybody has something that makes them nervous, makes their hand shake. Some people are able to take those fears and turn them into positives and use them as motivation. Others, those fears become debilitating, and, that's a whole process. So let's go ahead. Let me just talk about my fears, because I feel like my fears are no different than most people's fears. So if you see yourself in some of these fears that I'm going to talk about tonight, just raise your hand. So, the number one fear, I believe, that holds a lot of people back from their fitness journey is basically the fear that they're going to look foolish. Now, give yourself a minute and really think about that. Some of you might be at the very start of your fitness journeys. Maybe you've gone to a gym once or twice. Maybe you've gone out and, just taken a long walk or a swim or gone to the park and done some pull-ups. Maybe you've done a little bit of fitness activity here and there, but you haven't taken the big plunge and joined the gym, which, don't get me wrong, that is a big plunge, and a lot of people don't realize that. If you've never been to a gym, see, I'm blessed because I've been packed into a gym at some point in my life since I was 13. When I was 13, it was the high school gym, and then over the summers, it was being fit down the street from my house, and then it was, the colleges, and then all the gyms I've been to in, decades of training and working out. So going to a new gym for me isn't really intimidating, but for a lot of people, going to a gym is a big, big step in their fitness journey. Maybe the only step, because once you get into a gym, every other fear that you ever had is going to come at you tenfold. Just going to a gym, maybe you're kind of skinny and you don't have a lot of muscle, a lot of meat on you. Maybe you're a younger guy and, you're trying to get that six-pack, that beach body, whatever, and then some guy. And inevitably what always happens, whether you're, the 98-pound weakling and you don't have a lot of muscle mass, or you're a heavier person and you're trying to lose weight and build muscle, whatever your goal is, it is Murphy's Law that you will run into that person the day you join the gym. It is just physics. I don't know why it works like that. I'm trying to be a bodybuilder. I want big muscles, small waist, low fat. That's it. And I'm telling you, it is going to be on that day that I join a gym that I run into Jay Cutler or Ronnie Coleman, We all see the person that we want to be in the gym pretty soon after we join one. It's just the way it works. And for some people, that can be debilitating. That can be spirit crushing. I mean, when I was a kid and I was starting out working out, there were some guys that are already squatting 400 pounds, already benching 300 pounds. We're talking about high school here. So, that is really the first fear that a lot of people go to, is that fear of inadequacy and everybody's looking at me and I'm just starting out and I'm kind of heavy and I don't know what to do yet, and I'm just starting off, and I can't lift that much weight, or I can't run that far or swim for that long. That's the first fear that a lot of people struggle to get over, is just the fear of inadequacy. And there's other people around me that are doing better, and I'm telling you, man, those blinders, you got to put those blinders on, man. It's one of those things where if you don't conquer that fear early, you got to learn to run your own race, because if you don't do that early, it's just going to suck the life right out of you, and getting to the gym is going to be a chore. So believe me, I've been there. So that's one fear that a lot of people deal with. The second fear that a lot of people deal with, probably everybody at some point deals with, is the fear of looking foolish. Now, when I say looking foolish, I mean that, again, when you first start off on your fitness journey, or like for me, when I got injured, when I had that motorcycle accident and broke my foot, and I took 8 weeks off of the gym, it's kind of starting from scratch. So it was, I've been training nonstop for years and years and years, and 8 weeks for me is a death sentence. 8 weeks off of the gym, man, is the worst. So I'm out of shape. I haven't ran. I haven't done push-ups, pull-ups, anything. I'm out of shape, and I'm just getting back into it. So I throw myself headfirst into the gym. Cardiovascular strength is in the toilet. Mind-muscle connection is fleeting at best, and we got to get back and we got to get started. So this is the fear that a lot of people run into, whether they're just coming back or they're just starting off, is the fear of looking foolish. I'm not the strongest person in the lower body. I really, really have to train hard to put up weight when it comes to squats or leg press or anything like that. Deadlifts, when some people just, I don't know, for some reason, some people just take to legs like a fish to water. I see some people, they've been in the gym a couple of weeks or a couple of months, and they're already squatting 300 pounds. Like, wow, some people are just built like that, but a lot of people, especially like with cardio, I'll tell you right now, I deal with, the fear of looking foolish, is that, here lately, I've been trying to really do the cardio. My goal for the last couple of months has been to work up to doing an hour of cardio per workout. So what that would look like, not 60 minutes total on one apparatus, but 30 minutes pre and 30 minutes post. So 30 minutes usually on the step mill or walking incline on the treadmill, and then another 30 minutes of running afterward. So that's my goal. And it's funny how it works. Sometimes I rock the cardio. Sometimes I get in there and I do 20 minutes or 30 minutes on the step mill without breaking a sweat. And then I come back and I get ready to run, and I can only run for maybe 6-7 minutes before I completely gas out, And that is a fear that a lot of people have, is like, if there's, a room full of cardio machines and you step onto one and maybe you're just starting out and you're not the best runner, you set that pace on the treadmill, and then you only run for maybe 5-6 minutes, and then you have to stop as you're already sweating and you're already breathing heavy, and you get that feel like, oh man, people are looking at me and people think I'm stupid because I can't run like this, or I'm out of shape, and I'm just going to leave. Forget this, man. This sucks. I've been there, man. I have been there, and I know a lot of people have been there. But believe me, man, the great thing about working out in a gym, and something that not a lot of people ever say, but we have all been there at some point. Everybody has to start off somewhere. Even the greatest bodybuilders, the greatest CrossFit athletes, the greatest Olympians, they've all had to start at the bottom. And just because you're starting at the bottom, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter, but it is a fear that a lot of people have. I'll tell you, I got over that fear of looking kind of foolish pretty early on. If you take a look at YouTube, if you guys look at those workout videos, guys doing, there's a bunch of workout blooper videos out there, people falling, people doing crazy exercises that they just made up, But my favorites are the ones of the guys doing super heavy deadlifts that maybe they get it, but then when they drop it, they pass out, because they've held their breath, and they put the weight down. They're like, all right, I got it, but then it catches up with them, and then they pass out. So That's happened to me twice. So, and what's funny is I was horrified the first time it happened. I was absolutely horrified, because I was lifting this big weight. It was like over 500 pounds. And, I came in there all jacked up and ready to rock and roll. And I hit this 500-pound deadlift, and I didn't even feel like it was that hard. I came up pretty smooth. I set it down. I didn't bang it down really hard, but it came up smooth. I dropped it back down, and I was like, and the last thing I remember is like, all right, I think I'm going to put on 25. And the next thing I know, one of the gym managers, who was a buddy of mine, is standing over me like, hey, big man, you all right? You good? I'm like, oh, shit. What happened? It's like, you fucking bit it, man. And people were laughing, but they weren't laughing. They were laughing because it was, something that happens, I mean, it would have been, I guess it would have been funnier if I was, this big, jacked up, buff dude that was only deadlifting, a plate on each side, and I passed out doing that. Yeah, that'd be pretty funny, but I was actually doing a lot of weight, so people understood that, and it's the same thing. People don't usually come out and say it, but people do understand. If you're a heavier person and you're in there running and sweating and grinding away trying to make it happen, people understand that. That's what you're supposed to do. If you're out of shape, you're supposed to go to the gym and get in shape, or find some other way to get in shape, So, that's a fear that a lot of people have to get over, and it does turn into an intrinsic fear. There's something in psychology called the invisible audience. And a lot of people have that. Maybe it's not as prevalent as it is with other people, but a lot of people have this fear of an invisible audience. It's something that isn't really noticeable. Like, for me, just use myself as an example. I have a stutter, I do. I've stuttered my whole life, and some days it's bad, some days it's pretty good, other days, people don't even notice it, But I know about it. I've always known about it. It sits right there, every time I go to open my mouth, I wonder if I'm going to sound stupid. So, even right now, talking to you guys, I wonder if I'm going to have to edit out me stuttering real bad. And I know I've stuttered on my other podcast before. It doesn't really bother me. I don't really edit it out. It is what it is. If you don't like it, get the fuck out. So, but I know I stutter, but people walking down the street, in the gym, at the bus stop, they don't know if I stutter. Why would they? They can't see that. So, but for me, that would be like if I thinking, people are looking at me because I stutter. People are looking at me because I have this speech impediment, and they think I'm stupid, or they think I'm retarded, or whatever. Obviously it's probably more believable that people would be staring at me who don't know me because I'm 6 foot and 270 pounds, That's probably the reason why people are looking at me, not because I stutter, which they can't really see by looking at me. And that is a fear that people struggle with every day, and it's something that can really stand in your way, because these fears that come from, they come from the inside out, and it's something that, we as the fitness community, people who go to the gym and, are really into their fitness and taking care of their bodies, man, we really need to band together and, eliminate some of these fears and invite people in. That's the thing about gyms, is gyms have become very, very exclusive when gyms need to be very, very inclusive. There's so much stuff going on these days, heart disease, cancers, COVID, if there's any other time in the world to stay in shape, it's probably now. If not for yourself, for your loved ones, and plus it's just a good idea anyway, so many of life's ailments, come from come from lack of a good immune system. A lot of these things that are going around, obviously some stuff you just can't do anything about, but a good immune system is always a good base to have. So we need to be inviting people in. If you see somebody if you see, a heavier guy, at least I do. If I see a heavier guy on the step mill or the treadmill and he's putting in the work, maybe I'll glance over and see, oh man, these guys up to 15 minutes on the step mill. Good for you. That's usually when I'm ready to click off and get the hell out of there. I'll give somebody a pound or a high five. I won't even say anything. I'll just kind of pound it out with somebody, give them a nod, that really goes a long way. You never know what kind of impact you have on people. So, some of those fears, like I said, I don't have a script for this tonight. I'm just kind of going. This is something that I feel in my heart all the time. When I get under a weight, am I going to drop it and look stupid? People are going to laugh at me, maybe they will, maybe they will. But a lot of people, I don't feel like a lot of people would do that. I feel like a lot of people might laugh because it's happened to them, but not because you look silly. Looking silly is not going to the gym when you should because you're scared of yourself. That's really one thing that I learned from some of the greater mentors I had. I don't have a lot of great mentors in my life, but the ones that I do have are really, really good ones. And one of them is a guy named Uwe, and some of my Arizona State compatriots out there will definitely remember Uwe because Uwe is the bomb. But Uwe is was one of our trainers, and he went on to do some amazing things. He became the head athletic trainer at another college. I think he's one of the trainers for the 49ers at some point. I don't know if he still is. He kind of fell off the grid, but I wish him well. I hope he's doing some great things out there. But but we could do that for each other. This workout community, this gym community, there's some really great connections that you make with people through blood, sweat, and tears. So put all those fears aside, and get out there and conquer them, because I tell you, when you look back, you stop and look back and realize, damn, I've been training hard for months and months and, or years and years or however long you've been going at it. And there was a time where I was afraid to just step into a gym. Now I walk in here every day. People know my name. I'm getting high fives from the staff and from my buddies and everything. It's a nice little community, So if you have those fears, start working on shedding those fears so you can get out there and have a great time.